So Hazrat said to me in writing that Farooqi Sahib, remember that this path that you are traveling on, that you are upon, this path, do you understand? I've told you the path, isn't it? The path to Allah's Rada and Ma'rifah, and the great path, and this is the destination. There's no greater destination than this. Hazrat Sahib said that this path that you've embarked on, that you are on, Rasta, for this Rasta, for this path, for this journey, the biggest assistance that we need is the Shaykh's tawajjuh, the Shaykh's focus and his dua, his prayer. Obviously, the personality was telling us this, what a great personality was. So he was telling us the reality. Hazrat Sahib said, for this path, this journey, the first essential item, luggage item you could say that we need, is your Shaykh's, your teacher's tawajjuh, his attention to the student and his dua for the student. And further, Hazrat Sahib said, without the Shaykh's sohbat, without the Shaykh's company, you cannot complete this journey, you cannot travel on this journey. No wazifa, no prayer, no recitation can make you achieve the goal. This is guaranteed, what Hazrat Sahib said. That nothing on this path, nothing can get you the destination of Allah's Rada, Ma'rifah and Allah's love. Nobody can travel on this journey to Allah's love and Rada, but he can only travel it with the tawajjuh, the focus and the dua of his Shaykh. Then Hazrat Sahib said, because this path is very delicate, dangerous you could say, delicate, very finely balanced. And because they had traveled on this path, Hazrat Sahib said that this path is very delicate, don't consider it easy and a walkover. And the reason, because on this path, the nafs and the shaitan, your desires and the devil will throw their distractions towards you, and they'll loot your iman and loot your path away from you. They'll take your path away from you, and you won't even realize. So Hazrat Sahib stated, the success, there's one daleel, one proof of success, that with your Shaykh, with your teacher, your connection should be kept strong. The relationship should be kept strong. So this is a big light for us, guidance for us that Hazrat Sahib gave. And Hazrat Sahib explained that those who travel on this path, the men and women, only those can be successful that they have the biggest asset for this path, through which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the bond with our Shaykh. What is our connection with our teacher? So the first thing that Hazrat Sahib explained, that what we need to do is, with our Shaykh, is to have his tawajjuh, his focus and attention, and his dua. It's all down to the student. It's not the Shaykh's achievement. The more the student desires to strengthen his relationship with the Shaykh, he can do this. With his adab, with his manners, with his love, with his belief, with his khidmat, with his service for the Shaykh. Yes, because it's all down to the Mureed. It's up to him. To this extent, that the Mureed, he is immersed and drowned in the company of the Shaykh, that the Shaykh is then forced to do dua for his student. Share with you about faiz. What is faiz? An individual knows if faiz is coming or if it's not coming, or has it stopped, the blessings. Yes? How does the student feel this or know this? Look. At that time, when insan, he does dhikr, adhkar, and he has sohbat company of the Shaykh, the teacher, and when the heart, his emotions are positive, the love is increasing, and he starts to feel enjoyment from all actions, satisfaction, contentment, and the traps and the hurdles, a person gets used to, accustomed to bearing with the difficulties and the traps and overcoming them, and he's working hard, making effort in his life. And beautiful emotions and feelings he's passing through, and he doesn't know, what is this feeling that's with me? This emotion, this is the faiz of the Shaykh. Subhanallah. This is the faiz that makes a person majnoon and in love with the Shaykh. When an individual, the student, feels or sees that the heart is feeling empty, void, like I've told you about people, what's this, I don't understand this. When he start talking wasteful talk, the first stage is, well, I don't feel like doing it. And the heart is not wanting to go towards dhikr. He said, I don't know why, I don't feel like doing any dhikr. I try, but I can't do dhikr. Can't implement. This is the first sign that the affairs of your shaykh has started to cease, reduce. Further after that, what happens? Because the next step is very dangerous. Then slowly he stops doing dhikr. And he becomes partial. You know partial in tazkiyah? He starts to go more towards partial. Oh, okay, I did a bit, but I don't feel like doing more. And then he starts going less frequently to the majalis. And then he pays less attention to his shaykh and pays attention to others. And because this is the adab that's coming to the person. Then he goes beyond that step, Allahu Akbar. Because this increases, isn't it? The ignorance increases. Remember, there's a person who's on the path, only he can know. Because nafs and shaitan grab the person, as Hadhrat Sahib said, this is a dangerous path. Then after that, the other gate opens through which the fairs ends. Because these are all signs of fairs ceasing. The blessings of the shaykh ceasing. So then his feeling, his desire will start to go more towards dunya. And he'll run towards dunya. And then he will lose the differentiation between halal and haram. Then he'll have enjoyment to do wrong. Allahu Akbar. To this extent that he goes to the high stage of sin and then he drowns in the sins. That individual. To sin, and the first sin he'll sweat a bit, his hands and feet will be a bit cold, trembling. Then slowly he will hasten towards the sins. And then the path is sealed and locked on that person. So this is the sign if the student is attaining the fairs, the blessings, or has it stopped coming from the shaykh. And why does it stop? There's one big reason why fairs stops. Doesn't matter which manzil you've reached to, whichever step you reach to. One thing that takes a person far away from the shaykh is the disrespect and be'adabi of the shaykh. Allah Ta'ala doesn't like this. Allah Ta'ala has ordered through the Sahaba, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Abu Huraira, Talha, every companion, everyone was gathered, everybody was gathered. Allah Ta'ala could never bear that, my Mahbub, that your companions, they speak louder voice than you. It's a Surah Hujurat, isn't it? Yes. Allah says, don't speak in a volume louder. And Allah says, I don't like be'adabi, disrespect. Then the punishment, I'm telling you the action that takes a person towards losing the fairs of the shaykh. The shaykh never says, I'm expelling you from the halqa, and the grey sheikhs will never say this. Himself he will go. Why should he tell somebody go when he'll leave himself? Because if the fairs has ended, then the shaykh will disappear. And then Allah Ta'ala changes the paths. And a person chooses another path, etc., and goes towards another direction. So if no shaykh will ever say that, be gone with you, but the grey sheikhs will never say to the student, go, be gone with you. Why should they say this? They don't need to say this. Come, Hazrat Sahib said, Subhanallah, that there's no happiness for the person who's come and there's no sadness for he who has gone. Remember, it does the teacher doesn't remember that individual if he's gone or left. This is from experience. Those people always who are with the shaykh and seeing the shaykh, but when the fairs ends, then he even forgets his name, subhanallah. This is the reality. I tell you, the shaykh even forgets the name of the student. May Allah Ta'ala save us from this adab. This is a very big adab and punishment. This is the adab of the akhirah. That when you see this adab on a person, then run away far from that person. Far. Because he's come onto the trap of the shaitan. And don't go near to him. When you see the insan is coming out of the silsila and he's leaving, he's against the shaykh, he's speaking against the shaykh, then immediately never criticize him. No need. Never say to him, the Hazrat is going. No, never need to criticize or respond. That just save yourself. That the drops or the effect of this fire don't reach to you, because it's a very dangerous situation that person's in. He's entered into the danger zone. Don't look at his ibadah, his Quran, his sajda, his prostration, understand. And a point was explained here, that in front of the shaykh to get fairs, the best way, the best method, shall I tell you what it is? Yes, because I don't get any benefit, don't think that I'm telling you for my sake, that the silsila tells us this, that Hazrat Sahib even wrote to me and even additionally said that I'm not getting any benefit from you, I'm giving tarbiyah, it's your choice whether you do it or not. What is that was prescribed? That a very good method of attaining the fairs blessing from the shaykh is ithali thawab and hadiyah. Subhanallah. Ithali thawab and hadiyah. But in this you need great adab and manners. That either this action will make a person drown or it will take him to the heights. See, I will give the example. This happens with me, maybe this happens with you as well. You went to Umrah, for example, and that we used to go on Umrah, and after going to Umrah, obviously, you remember your shaykh, your teacher, and then you did tawaf for your teacher. Subhanallah. So what's happening now? Then the message is coming, Hazrat Sahib, I have done dua for you today, and I have dua for you today. Subhanallah. Glory be to Allah. Now tell me, the student who does it, is this appropriate to speak like this? Yes? Is it appropriate to say this to the teacher? But we say this, we send the message. Today, Hazrat, I feel like I'd like to give you hadiyah. Can I send the food to you? Can I bring something for you? Can I give you something? Is this hadiyah? Hazrat Sahib was written, I'm not saying this from my own words. Hazrat Sahib, Hakim al-Ummat rahimullah, he wrote this in depth, that there are very great actions of adab in taking and giving in both transactions. What is the method of giving? When you're going in the car, Hazrat Sheikh Rabi said that, don't you have manners? You sat in the car, hey Hazrat, this is hadiyah for you, this is gift for you. And giving the money in the hands of the teacher, and they would never take money, and nor do we take money. So, what sort of method is this? Yes, that you are throwing shoes at your Shaykh. Such a great favor is given to you, and that if you've done tawaf for your Shaykh or done an umrah, and you're texting the teacher, I've done umrah, and I have sacrificed the animal for you today, the goat for you, the sheep, and you're communicating that, the true Mureed is who? Who has the awareness that the tawaf you're doing around the Kaaba you're standing, that this is the favor of your Shaykh, that he gave you tawajjuh and you arrived to where you are now today. Subhanallah. This is an opposite scenario, opposite. So, the true Sadiq, he cries, the Shaykh, your mercy, where have you taken me? You will allow me to progress. When he did a ziyarah of Rasulullah, then he's, subhanallah, he's saying that, Ya Rasulullah, this is due to the barakah of my Shaykh, that I'm here, I was this, I was that, I was a sinner. The other person, the fashionable student of today, he's trying to show that he's repaid the favor. Look, I did dua for you at the Rawda, I brought this for you, etc. I have brought the gift of dates for you, I want to give you this gift of dates, etc. And this comes through text as well, messaging, and this is very easy now. So you're throwing the slippers and the shoes on the face of that teacher, so that he says from his mouth, oh, give me the food, or send these items for me. What sort of tariqah and method is this? Astaghfirullah ta'ala rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Tell me. Now, we've done this, so the Shaykh, he will not say anything, because Shaykh has haya, and they say, I want to send you some food, shall I send it? The Shaykh will say, send some food. Then he'll start to sweat that I'm selfish, that I'm saying please send some food. And the other time he says no, that this person, he says that, oh, I'm not getting any benefit from the Shaykh. And may not be that, for example, that person is that he's trapped. That he says, when he says that I'm sweating, please send the food, but he's lowered himself and he's demanding from the Shaykh that please send to me, I'll give to you. Is this a tariqah, a method? Tell me. So you can assess this off. But what is Allah Ta'ala saying himself? Okay, I will prepare for you the solution. You are dhaleel like this, you're doing actions of immodesty. So much be'adabi, so much immodesty.